Hello, this is Matador News. I'm Laura Camelo.
And I'm Jacquelyn Koenig. The Dreams to Be Heard organization and CSUN's financial aid department are teaming up to introduce the new DREAM Act workshop. The California DREAM Act was passed in 2011 to help undocumented students complete their financial aid applications. The act is for students categorized under the Assembly Bill 540. Last year, nearly half of students who applied were accepted for the DREAM Act.
One seasoned student says they are in favor of the DREAM Act.
For example, in high school, I had a couple of friends that were undocumented and they had a really hard time trying to file for their FAFSA. I think this is just a wonderful opportunity. It gives them a better chance and it evens the playing field.
Workshops will be held in USU Grand Salon. The last day to apply for the DREAM Act is March 2nd.
Some former governors gather at CSUN to discuss their time in politics. Former Hawaii governor and CSUN graduate Linda Lingle and former Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis spoke at the USU Grand Salon about their experiences in political office. Lingle says the most important skill she learned in politics was the ability to understand the media. The Political Science Department organized the event in order to provide the public with information about political careers. Lingle is temporarily teaching political science courses at CSUN.
A new plan is underway to increase CSU college graduation rates by 10%. Last week, CSU Chancellor Timothy White announced the $50 million project. The new plan includes hiring more experienced faculty, increasing online courses, and creating more opportunities for students. Some money for the new initiative may need to be redirected for other programs. Tuition would not be affected.
One CSUN student says he thinks this is a good chance for college students to graduate on a 4-year plan.
Students that I see in classrooms that can't get into a classroom, even though there's open available seats. And I really think that we need to be directing more funds to helping students graduate on time, because if they get stuck with a semester behind, it kind of throws everybody off.
Over 500,000 undergraduate applications were submitted to the CSU system for fall 2014.
The United Nations Human Rights Panel has condemned the Vatican for policies it says led to the rape and abuse of thousands of children worldwide. The UN report also criticizes the Catholic Church teachings against homosexuality, contraception, and abortion. The Vatican says some points made by the UN interfere with Catholic teaching. The UN has urged the Vatican to take all reports about abuse to police and end the code of silence.
Another new report from the UN says children in Syria are being tortured and subjected to starvation. Thousands of families are desperate for food and children are dying because of starvation. The Syrian people say they are desperate.
Her mother says she has nothing to feed her child. There is no food, no sugar, no milk, no rice. There is nothing, she tells the doctor. She lives on tahini, sesame paste, without sugar, because there is no sugar, no milk, no bread. I cannot find any milk at all.
People are protesting because there is not enough food for the hungry children, and they feel subject to discrimination. The United Nations is providing food, but not enough to help those in starvation. The Syrian government is allowing UN agencies to bring aid to the country only through a few border crossings. The UN estimates about 25,000 people are completely cut off from food and medicine.
The Northeast is facing more harsh winter weather. Today's winter storm has already dumped heavy snow and caused major traffic problems throughout the eastern seaboard. A CNN senior meteorologist says an even bigger winter storm is coming over the weekend, going over next weekend. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has already declared a state of emergency, and New York Mayor Bill de Blasio is urging people to stay off the streets. Air travel is already being affected by the winter storm, with 1,900 flights being canceled.
Although some of the country's college students are waiting for professors to call off classes due to heavy snowfall, CSUN students can rest assured their classes will be in full swing here in Northridge, despite colder than normal temperatures. Current conditions are at 58 degrees, with the afternoon expecting sunny skies with cool temperatures of up to 63 degrees. Expect chilly nights with temperatures dropping to the low 40s over the next few days.
Tobacco users will no longer be able to purchase cigarettes at CVS. Nick has the story.
CVS Caremark, the country's second-largest drugstore chain, says it will stop selling cigarettes and other tobacco products in pharmacy stores by October 1st. The move is an effort to improve the customer's health and become more of a healthcare provider than a retail business. CVS Caremark says the move will cost about $2 billion in annual revenue, but will not affect the 2014 earnings. The company's tobacco plan drew praise from ex-smoker President Obama. This will help his administration's effort to reduce tobacco-related deaths, cancer, heart disease, and bring down healthcare costs. The Associated Press says uninsured Americans are not scattered evenly across the country. That means outreach targeted to specific areas may reach more prospective customers needed to stabilize the law's new insurance markets. The White House originally set a goal of signing up 7 million people in the new insurance markets, and the administration says it has reached the 3 million mark. Website problems, federal as well as state, have cast doubt on whether original goals will be met. New studies show mixed results about the effects of caffeine. One UC Irvine study showed 200 milligrams of caffeine helped participants recall images more correctly than the placebo group. But on the other side of the coffee cup, another study showed caffeine can actually slow brain development. This Swiss study reports connections in the brain increase during childhood and are at the highest level during puberty, meaning kids should not be drinking coffee, especially during puberty when sleep is essential for brain development.
I don't think I would.
Some CSUN students say they're a little skeptical that coffee helps memory.
I don't think I would believe that. Just, I don't know, my parents drink a lot of coffee and I don't think they've ever felt like, oh, their memory is improving, so I don't think so. I don't think I would try that method.
I don't think so. I think that like my dad, like he used to drink coffee every day, and he thinks that coffee can make him awake. But for me, I just think that, well, sometimes coffee can make you awake, but not most of the time.
I think that's a better alternative than the other alternatives that our other like colleagues take. Usually it's with drugs to focus, so that could be a good thing. But then again, I heard that caffeine's addictive, so that could be like bad.
That could be bad, but lots of CSUN students say they don't drink coffee at all. Now back to you, Jacquelyn.
The stock market is declining, and Katie has the story.
The U.S. stock market is mixed with some small gains. At last check, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up about 13 points. The Standard & Poor's 500 index fell almost 2 points, while the Nasdaq was down 13.75. Markets started this week with a 326-point drop in the Dow because of disappointing news about the U.S. manufacturing. Despite the market's rise on Tuesday, many investors remain skeptical, waiting to see if upcoming economic reports and company earnings will show the U.S. economy is back on track. Back to you, Laura.
City of Miami, be prepared for a new soccer club. Nick has the story.
Major League Soccer is welcoming a new club to the league headed by a familiar face. Former MLS player and soccer legend David Beckham announced earlier today he is getting an expansion team in Miami. This would mark the 22nd club to join the American Soccer League, and Beckham says he couldn't be more excited.
We plan on bringing a team that's going to be a global team. You know, I spoke about this before, I spoke about it many times. I'm committed to this league and I've been committed to this sport for many years.
Sources say the new team would be able to hit the field as soon as 2016. Injuries continue to plague the Lakers as 2 more players go down after 2 return. Point guards Steve Nash and Steve Blake were welcomed back to the court last night after sustaining injuries earlier in the season. That didn't seem to help as the Lakers fell to the Minnesota Timberwolves 109-99. To add insult to injury, pun definitely intended, forward Jordan Hill and guard Jody Meeks left the game early after head and ankle injuries. The Lakers have currently won 2 out of their last 10 games. Tonight, the Lakers look to change their luck as they take on the Cleveland Cavaliers at Quicken Loans Arena. Professional snowboarder and Olympian Shaun White will not be trying out a new event in Sochi. The gold medalist announced earlier today that he would not be competing in the inaugural slopestyle snowboarding course after injuring his wrist in a practice run. Officials say White will instead be focusing on the halfpipe event, where he hopes to win his third straight gold medal. The 2014 Winter Olympics begin tomorrow night, and opening ceremonies take place Friday night on NBC. Now back to you, Jacquelyn.
Katie has the news and entertainment.
An autopsy report for late actor Philip Seymour Hoffman has come back as inconclusive. Hoffman was found dead Sunday with a needle in his arm and over 50 bags of heroin in his apartment. Police are investigating the case as a drug overdose. 4 people have been arrested in Manhattan as part of the investigation of the actor's death. The Academy Award winner's family has released a statement with plans for a private funeral for close friends and family. Autopsy reports could take days to be conclusive. Former American Idol and Celebrity Apprentice contestant Clay Aiken is running for Congress in North Carolina. Aiken is seeking the Democratic nomination for the 2nd Congressional District seat. Aiken says he sees Washington as dysfunctional and would focus on finding jobs, education, and the economy. Republican Congresswoman Renee Elmers currently holds the 2nd District seat. Political expert weighs in, saying that Aiken has a challenge ahead of him as the district is Republican-leaning. Fast and Furious star Paul Walker is leaving his estimated $25 million estate to his 15-year-old daughter. 40-year-old Walker died in a fatal car crash on November 30th of last year. Records show that late actor's estate is expected to earn another $8 million after the 7th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise. Walker's mother is named as guardian to daughter Meadow to oversee the estate until she reaches adulthood. Now back to Laura and Jacquelyn.
Thank you for watching. That's all for Matador News. I'm Laura Camelo.
And I'm Jacquelyn Koenig. Have a good day.